All right, we'll go ahead and continue. Up now, Stanford Cardinal head coach Jerod Haase in his first season at Stanford, and junior forward Reid Travis. We'll go ahead and have Coach making an opening remark about the season ahead.
Well, needless to say, with a new group and a new coaching staff, there's a lot of teaching going on these first couple of weeks. But my initial thoughts are that the guys are extremely responsive and receptive to everything we're doing. I think there's a great deal of excitement, obviously, with everything being new. As a coach, it's hard because we're trying to install everything and move quickly, but our attitude has been trying to build a foundation and move slowly with our base offense and our base defense. But moving up to the season, there's great opportunities, which also means some great challenges in terms of the schedule. We're playing a great schedule, and we know it'll be challenging, but I think the guys really are bought in to try and make something special happen. At this point, it's, again, a great deal of focus and a great deal of excitement.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for the coach or student athlete. Please raise your hand, and we'll get a handheld microphone to you right down here in the front row.
Hi, Coach. Welcome. A couple of things. Your team is ranked 10th in the preseason poll here. I don't know how much weight you give these things, but I'm kind of curious how you feel about that. So that's my first question.
Yeah, I mean, with the preseason rankings, it's something that's interesting for everybody to talk about, and but it just doesn't mean a whole lot. I think with our team, we're focused on the day-to-day practices. I'm sure our guys will see it at some point and understand what the perception is, but with an understanding that it truly will be decided on the court. And as much as that's a cliche, that's our attitude right now.
My second question is, how much do you expect out of your freshmen, Cody Pugh and Trevor Standback, this year? What have you seen from them so far?
We're really excited about the freshmen. We feel like we have a team that's balanced in terms of classes. We think those guys have a great deal of talent, a great deal of length, and moving forward within the program over their career, we think they're going to add a dimension that's a unique skill set to what we have, especially with that length and athleticism. But we're looking forward to both of them having successful careers.
Down here, front row, in the middle.
Reid, your coach mentioned a couple weeks ago to us that you guys are pretty healthy. I mean, could you speak a little bit about how much of a clean slate this is for you after a rough year, and also getting Cartwright back in the mix too for this group?
Yeah, definitely for myself. Everyone's back healthy. I've dealt with injuries the last 2 years that I've been at Stanford, so it's definitely a difficult time for me. But going into this summer, I was able to really take care of my body, really get back to the form that I felt comfortable and healthy in. So now going into this preseason, I feel great, feeling 100%. And then going on Cartwright's on his behalf, he's healthy. I see him in practice every day, working hard, and he's back to the form that he was in before he got injured. So it's just great to have both of us back on the court and feeling good and feeling confident with our bodies.
Back here in the middle, second row, or third row, I'm sorry.
First for you, Reid, what have you kind of noticed as being a difference with this new coaching staff here in the first couple of weeks you've had of practice? And then, Coach, what are some of the things that you've tried to instill to make your mark on the program?
I'd say one of the differences that we've had from the spring to the summer to even now preseason practice is just our attention to detail on the defensive end. That's one thing that Coach has been preaching, is that we got to be tough and we have to guard. So that's been the emphasis the last few practices, is that we really have to guard and we really have to dig in on defense. And that's something that's been in the back of our minds. I feel like if we can guard at a high level, we can be competitive and successful in the Pac-12.
Yeah, the first 6 months on the job here, it's been, especially the first 4 months, one of the goals I had was trying to define who we're going to be moving forward. And I would say the first 4 months there was an evaluation process of what the program is, what it's been in the past, talked to former players, former coaches, and then obviously with the current team and the current staff as well. And we talked a lot about culture and culturally what we want to be moving forward. And our core values for the program are going to be invested, tough, and selfless. And that's something we've tried to visit a lot with our guys about, that everything we do on the court, off the court, are going to really come down to those core values. And if I'm fortunate enough to be at Stanford for a long time, that's going to be the core foundation for everything we do.
Right here in the front row, here on the left.
Hi, Coach. I was wondering, since you're at Stanford, are you using the students' think tank or anything for analytics for your basketball team? And Reid, I think your team's bringing back the most players this season, and how does that benefit your team?
Yeah, with analytics, and I think there is value to it. We are doing some different things, especially with the Stanford culture and the resources we have. Having said that, I would say in some ways old school as well, and I think a lot of the times the analytics and the facts oftentimes validate the coach's thinking and what we're looking at. If there's ever data points or some information that maybe raises a red flag, we'll certainly look into that. But we use that information more as a way to validate the things we're doing and try and trust my gut feeling and my experience as a player and as a coach to try and guide our thinking.
Yeah, and like you said, having the most people coming back in the conference, that's definitely a big plus for us. Having a great mix of veterans and younger guys. I feel like we've played so many games, had so many practices, spent so many hours together that our chemistry is just through the roof. So now it's just trying to put all that together and just keep on increasing that chemistry so when the season starts that people can really tell that this is a group that's been meshing and has been together for a long time.
On the far right, second row.
John Goldears on the Daily Star. Coach, you guys went 26-7 last year in 60 at UAB, 16-2 in conference play, and you were relegated to the NIT. If you do that at Stanford, you're a top 1 or 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. For a coach, how important is it to be in a conference where your wins will be legitimized and you'll get recognized if you have a great year like you did last year?
Well, the Pac-12 has a very, very high standard in the past. I think this year is going to be no different. I think there's great depth to the conference. And being in a conference like this, if you're able to put wins together and have a resume with conference wins, it'll get rewarded, and as it should. From top to bottom, there's a great deal of talent. There's a great deal of high-level coaching, great recruits year in, year out. And so I think there's a lot of rewards, a lot of difficulties being in a conference like this, but there's a lot of rewards as well if you can navigate the schedule and get some victories.
In the middle, third row.
Hey, Coach. Ben Parker from GoldenBearReport.com. You have a couple of really talented juniors in Dorian Pickens and Michael Humphrey who have grown very nicely over the course of their freshman and sophomore years. Can you talk about just what you expect from them this year and what growth you've seen from them over the last few months?
Yeah, I think that they've done a nice job physically, first of all, in the offseason. Michael, in particular, has gained about 20, 25 pounds. Every time that he and Reid hit at practice, there's a small collision or a large collision, and you can almost feel it across the gym. So we need to make sure that they're trying to play without fouling, but it's also something that's been fun to see Michael's development, that he is a skilled, versatile player, but also has the ability. We want to make sure he goes inside as well and tries to get fouled. Dorian's been fantastic. We do need him to continue to increase his role. We need him to be a proficient shooter, proficient scorer, and we want him to slowly emerge as a leader on the team as well. But those two in particular, like you mentioned, are juniors that have the ability to impact our team and impact the game in a real positive way.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.